There we go.
혼자 주저앉아 생각만 커져가 언제부터 넌 날 아프게 했던가 너조차도 모르잖아 너도 아프잖아 cause you're mine I just wanna blow your mind 이렇게 넌 또 멀어져만 가는데 아무렇지 않은데 그렇게 말하는데 사실은 내가 그게 아닌가 봐 I want you to be a light baby You should be a light 저는 아프지 않게 네가 웃을 수 있게 I want you to be a light baby You could be a light 이 밤이 너에게 솔직할 수 있게 너도 아프잖아 cause you're mine I just wanna blow your mind 이렇게 넌 또 멀어져만 가는데 아무렇지 않은데 그렇게 말하는데 사실은 내가 그게 아닌가
Hello everyone. Like as always, when we play a reel, we totally get lost in what we're doing. So, oh my God. Hey Army fam, how is everyone? Welcome to Living Bangtan 7. Woo.
Yay.
Yay. Oh my God. We have an absolutely amazing discussion to have with you, my friends, today. How's you guys doing? Good?
All good.
All right. So I am checking the viability of our lovely chat features, and it looks like we have some level of limits going on. So we'll give people, obviously, hopefully, a chance to get on and join us in the chat. So, so today our show is Jimin. Let's Talk Vibe, a journey from lie to promise to chaos revealed. It is the story on our personal love for the gentle genius of Park Jimin, whose smile never fails to light up our life. So that's why we named everything Be a Light. Of course, because promise. That song is just brilliant, man. Just like puts you in such a mellow space that it's really hard to bounce back to like high energy.
Yes, it's so beautiful.
It is so gorgeous. So hello everyone, Bora Hey Army, and welcome to episode, I think this is episode 5 of Living Bangtan 7. I don't know, it's been so much fun. So Living Bangtan 7, as you know, is a platform we created, the DG team, the Diversity Geek team, plus all of the lovely Army who have joined as our guests and co-hosts, to bring you wellness discussions, content, and our musings on Bangtan Sonyadan. The name means living bulletproof 24/7, and our purpose is to help us all learn, including us as the first people, how to live confidently with self-love throughout the day, and how to use the bulletproof or Bangtan philosophy as a source of healing, healthy coping, support when we are struggling, self-reflection, and self-value. So you're going to notice as we move through every one of our shows that you'll often see us using these key phrases where we talk about self-reflection and self-value. It's a pretty, it's going to be a running trend for us because, as most of you know, this is based on a research project that I kind of initiated about a year ago based on the Love Myself campaign. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, but just wanted to catch you up a little bit as we grow the platform, grow the message, and move towards launching our website. We're really, our focus is to be able to bring Army opportunities for positive self-reflection, positive self-identity, positive self, and self-value through our work. Yay! Thank you for giving me a few seconds to say that. As because that we're morphing, aren't we? Constantly, everybody.
Mhm.
So
Definitely.
So Jackie, what do we have planned for Army today?
Okay, so today we are gonna talk about Vibe. If you guys haven't heard it yet, which I doubt it, because I mean, come on, we were all really anticipating it. We're also gonna discuss Jimin's entire discography, all these beautiful different songs that he put out for us. And we're gonna chat about Jimin's brilliant and emotionally connected folio.
Mhm.
Then we're gonna talk. We have a live unboxing if we reach 100 plus subscribers on YouTube.
I mean, we do it anyway. That's such a
Yeah.
the crazy. We do it anyway because because we love
I
to
can't
do it.
wait.
It's fun and everybody
Mhm.
enjoys it.
No, and then it's
Mhm.
the folio. It's beautiful. So how could you not?
I know.
Definitely.
I did bring a bunch of other. Oh my god! I brought so many things to show Army today. I'm always happy. So, but Jackie, talk to us about TikTok.
Oh yeah, so we just opened our TikTok. I don't have anything on there as of yet, but it is under Living Bangtan 7. You guys can go follow us on TikTok and we'll have highlight reels of our shows and a couple other edits that we're going to be putting out for each different member and OT7 all together.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Drop the at in the chat for you guys.
and
Yeah.
even the lyric reels, which Angela actually just launched, will be that you're seeing today,
Mhm.
right, Angela? They're going to be
Yeah,
getting.
those are great. Those are fun to read through.
Yeah, we love it. And then, when we do the show, you have the lyric reels to go back to and kind of reflect a little bit with how we
Mhm.
discussed on those lyrics and the reels. And you just bear with us. And then today, Angela, we're launching something very special. And it wasn't just a TikTok, but it's also something very special that we're going to be sharing with Army today.
All right.
Yeah, and so we're going to be sharing something with you. I think you remember a week or two ago we talked about launching the weekly or the show specific whiteboards, which are part
Yes.
of self care. Yeah,
Yes. And so we've got some wonderful whiteboards with some great kind of self-care, hopefully reflecting on yourself and thinking a little bit about your inner beauty, your inner shine, and some great, hopefully inspiration, especially for the week.
yeah, and it's all based on the lyrics. Just so you know,
Mhm.
that's how we're.
Mhm.
That's why those lyric reels kind of have a little bit of a play. So as Army
Mhm.
as you move along, you'll find how we're kind of connecting them. But we're not going to give it all to you. You got to figure it out too, Army. We need you to do some of the work as well. So feel
That's
free to
right.
ask us questions as we move along. And if you have suggestions for whiteboards you'd like us to work on
Mhm.
in terms of self-reflection, self-value, and self-identity, come on, let us
Mhm.
know and we will work on them. Or if you have a specific song that you feel really will help Army in those ways, please let us know. And we'll definitely do a whiteboard on those. Yay!
Awesome.
All right. So, as always, I'd like to thank our co hosts and guests for being here today. Our lovely Angela, who's all the way from Qatar. You're in Doha right now, right?
I'm in Doha. That's
Yeah.
right. It is 1 a.m.
Well, poor thing. I am so grateful to you for doing this. And our lovely Jackie, who's over in the
Hello.
Netherlands.
Hi. It's only 4 p.m. here, so.
I know, enough for me. It's 5. So, okay, my dear friends. So let's discuss our cutie, lovely, or cutie, sexy, lovely Jiminshi. Okay,
Mhm.
I always say it backwards, man. It's so weird for me that I can't. So I always have to stop and go, which way did he say it again?
Uh-huh.
I just love it so much. So, um, and I know I'm talking, but really, the two of them will lead most of this conversation today. But I'm going to lead a little bit with my personal
Mhm.
thoughts on Jimin over the years of watching him, the struggles, the growth, the pain, the joy, and the smile that is never ending. It just never ends. It's this beautiful, warm, gentle smile that just lights you up. And when he's saying, I want to be your light and I want you to be your light, it absolutely makes sense because that is who Jimin is.
Mhm.
That is who Jimin is for everyone. And it doesn't matter whether you're not a full-fledged army or,
Mhm.
and you know my philosophy on that. Everyone's army to some extent. Uh,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter because he's just a beautiful human being, and that
Mhm.
that beauty shines. And so I personally, I was always engaged with him regardless. And because he's Jimin. And I feel that his journey over the last 10 years is so connective and relevant, regardless of what age you are, and where you're from. And I remember how they talked about in the SDGs about having the welcome generations and how we're trying to find the parts of themselves that make sense, that form the parts of their identity. Remember how the 7 of them kind of fit that into the yeah. So, but just as critical across generations is to help close gaps and spark cross-sectional and cross-generational conversations and narratives. And we all know that that's something that BTS extremely excels at, because they don't compartmentalize people by age, race, gender, or anything else, right? Everyone is just a beautiful human to them. And, that's the epitome of what Jimin is for 100%. And the members have always been a source for challenging narratives and norms, and at the same time figuring out who they can be. And then they share that with us. And, that's just what a gift. I always say every time on the show that it's such a gift that we get that. And Jimin has been through a lot. Again, we don't like to discuss the specifics of those because those are our personal reflections. But through what he's been through, he's forged the most beautiful, gracious, and graceful person that we have been gifted with. And I think I'm grateful for all of them, and that we have the opportunity to be able to bring our thoughts to ARMY today. So I'm going to let Angela talk a little bit about the goals of today's show, okay?
Great. So the goals for today's show, and one of the things, I was talking a little bit with Nisha about, is being able to celebrate Park Jimin and kind of the cultural phenomenon that he is, and celebrate his work, his individual work that he's done. But we'll also discuss Vibe, right? So we've got, which we know it already is on the way to become a huge, huge hit. Taeyang's got the vibe. He's back in the game after a 6-year hiatus with his new solo single. It's debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot Trending Songs powered by Twitter chart, even before it was released, largely thanks to the collab's announcement. I know ARMY was, with much anticipation, was waiting for this, and it's accompanying swoon-worthy teaser posters featuring the two idols together. And Jimin, of course, has expressed previously years ago about wanting to work with his idol, and Taeyang being his idol that he most wanted to work with and collab with. So this has definitely been an interesting chapter 2 to see all the collabs that are coming out, giving more freedom to collaborate with artists that they all love, JKRM, and now we see Jimin with his collab. Nisha.
Hey, hey Lenny. I was just saying hi in the chat to her. So.
Oh, good. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
I know. Thank you so much. I love it when people come back, because then the conversation continues as we move, And and I like one of the things is we always reflect back on things we've said in the past shows.
Yeah.
It's so relevant. This is not like a static thing. We talk about one member and if that's it. That's not how this works, because that's not who Bangtan is, right? Bangtan is this moving dynamo. Yeah. And so it's always about being able to how we can we see the bigger picture of the love we have for them. So then we are also, two of the goals I think that's like really big for us, and I know you worked a lot on this, is accepting that a dream can become a reality. I think that obviously Jimin working with Taeyang, and you're going to show them that little reel, right? I know you have that little teaser for them. And then trusting the person that you've become, whether it's that blended identity and the multifaceted identity. That's a big thing. We may not get to that today, but I do think we'll kind of, if we don't finish it, we'll revisit it. And Jackie?
Tata's back. Hi, Tata. Hi. Yeah. And then we're also going to go on to talk about his, it makes me emotional thinking about his folio that he gave us. It's about him. He wanted to show his inner sides of himself and his thoughts, his worries, his loneliness. He wanted to portray a bolder and darker side
Yeah.
of himself. We got the black and white teaser photos at the beginning, and then we went on to have like the light and the darkness as well for the teasers. And yeah. And according to BTS's Weverse announcement, the photo book is based on Jimin's own ideas and unveils different moods Jimin creates. And obviously, he's a filter. He has many different sides of himself, from the same costumes, the strength that Jimin has discovered in himself, the meaning of light in this confusing, hi, I can't speak today, consciousness. The moment Jimin's inner self and persona finally meet, and his chaotic and finally an immature journey to finding the true me. And if we all know anything about Jimin, he's gone through a lot of different phases, and he's struggled a lot with accepting himself and his differences, his voice. We've all known our little struggles with those, and it's really nice to see that he's finally had this moment of, okay, I'm happy with myself because this is me. Oh, yeah, I think we're gonna move on. Talk about the songs now.
So I think you had something prepared for us, right? Oh, I know. I'm so sorry you weren't there, Tata. We even said it on the show. We were like, "Where are you?"
Yes, it's true.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was like, where is Tata?
That's true.
I watched the show because I don't think I was on for Tays, but I was like, wait, we're missing Tata in the comments.
I know. That's crazy. So, and we miss you, and thank you so much. You guys feel free, everybody who's on for all of our sites, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, please feel free. This whole conversation, you're our fourth guest. Army is always the fourth guest on here. We're not here to listen to ourselves. We're here to interact with you, and this is a conversation. This is not just us preparing things. We prepare it for you. That's the whole point, so that we can all share this love mutually. I think we're going to go ahead and go into the lyrics, right? Which one are we doing first, Angela?
We're going to talk about Filter. Filter could probably be a show all on its own.
All on its own.
One of the quotes that Jimin said in his interview with Spotify was he came up with this song Filter because filter can be the things with a camera or social media, but also people's perspective or prejudice. And he took these various meanings and expressed them in the song of how he wants to present himself in the world in different ways. So he really came up with the concept for this song. I think what people also kind of recall the most about this song is the red outfit, the dance move. There we go. I think that is kind of an iconic moment with this song that people really look at. But I think there was probably a time where he was feeling, looking through different lenses and how people look at himself and how he looks at things, how he reflects. I think that when you really do look at the lyrics, it's an amazing song. It's an amazing song. There you go.
I did something I don't normally do. I actually posted in there and I said, "Which me do you want?" It is one of my absolute favorite lines from anywhere. Because remember how I said, I know, I'm sorry, Army. It's just that we chat so much behind the scenes. You have no idea when we prep a show. But I have this philosophy, which you already know, that one song links to another song. You know how I feel about handshakes. And Lie and Filter are handshakes. And serendipity is the beauty that's between them. So because it's a step. Because you remember how serendipity, he's reflecting with the sun, the moon. He's reflecting. And that's his own self-reflection of identity. And we know that. With Lie, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, you're going to understand why I think Filter and this have the two, or again, a handshake about identity. I love this line so much. So, okay. If you have a favorite line, please let us know, because
do you also think Filter was, for me, when I first listened to it, I was thinking it's the way that people look at him through different lenses and have judged him, prejudged him, without really knowing, his full, him as a full person, and kind of just, judging him from one view. And so for me, Filter, when I first had kind of heard it, that was my take on that.
But that
Filter made me think about, I don't know if this was a Bangtan bomb or what it was, but I think they
Mm.
asked like what affects his stage presence.
Mm.
And he said it depends on the outfit that he's wearing.
Mm.
And if you go back and look at different ones, like I think when they sang Magic Shop and Mustard, he was like in cute little overalls and a little hat, and he was being all cute.
And he got lost.
Yeah. And then in another one, they made Go Go, and Go Go's supposed to be a really fun song, and then Jimin just up there just being sexy, and I'm like, how do you make Go Go this song? But his outfit, it was how he was feeling, so the different filters of Jimin never.
It's about the colors, right?
Yeah.
So he uses the colors extremely specifically. Let's just think about when on the yet to come music shows, and look at the colors that they're reflecting on those stages. When I think that one of the most, because you just played it a second ago, you can actually run through some of the images if you want. But if you remember that white that they wore on that stage, this is stunning. Look at the stunning nature of how Jimin knows how to represent who he is. I mean, I understand they have a stylist, but the stylist definitely works on them and knowing what colors make sense for them.
Right.
This stage is one of the most beautiful I've ever seen. But Filter, the red, and the fact that he changed the clothes multiple times, because technically it was the 3 changes, that he chose the fire of the red as the final color was about him being able to express the fire of his internal self in a way that we're able to see that, which I think is really, 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 it's so relevant in understanding who he is. Isn't it interesting that this black is just as stunning as the white in terms of showing that beautiful gentleness and warmth in his face and his eyes? It's just incredible. So I can see that Jimin understands color in that way.
Right.
Much this different shade of black.
I'm telling you that, first of all, Jimin can wear any color. I don't think there's anything. Oh yeah. Thank you so much for that. I love some of these. I'm just reading the comments as we go. There's just so many right now, so I'm like, okay.
And I actually think the one I just had mentioned to you the other day was that Jimin is an extremely private person. And for me, has been, in my years of being in Army, has been the most private. And whether that has changed from the way that people have viewed him and criticized him and judged him and things like that has made him kind of withdraw a bit from a bit of the public eye, the filter.
Like the perfect that Len was saying. I was just wanting to, it was a complimentary statement.
Exactly.
I think we were talking about how that, I'm going to say this to you as a professional, as a human, as a mother who's raised children who are these boys' ages. And I think you might agree with me on this, Angela.
Right.
When you're not sure and you feel that someone is judging you constantly, you have this withdrawal. You withdraw into yourself because you're constantly trying to figure out who you are. Right. So lie, which is, it was so interesting that you had us do this backwards, because lie is the beginning of that conversation. Right. And none of them knew who they were at that time, but that was their impetus to say, we are the people who can figure this out. You need to, it has to be from inside of us. Filter is him saying, I completely, I want to be, what is the word I'm trying to say, where you're transparent. I want to be transparent about the fact that I'm sharing with you that I have to apply those filters.
Right.
Any given moment, because each of those people is me, but which is the one that you need in this moment.
Right.
So it's not just the one I want, right? Because he asked, which one do you need? That is a huge statement to make, because how many people ask you, who do you need me to be in this moment? Which is the part of me that you need to make your wellness? I just want to blow your mind, because he wants to give us a state of wellness. Now, how do we know this? Because we all saw Burn the Stage. So we know it's not us suppositioning or speculating. The fact is, he told Namjoon, this is what these, for promise, he told us what those words were. And later on, he told us what the words for filter meant. So sorry,
Right.
keep going.
No,
Aw,
that's, I think,
I
perfect.
think that wraps up filter in a great way though.
Okay.
yeah.
Let's jump.
So
All
we
right.
jumped to
I
lie.
can't believe you did lie backwards, girl. You know this is personally my love, right?
Well, I was playing this song while looking, putting these lyrics up, and it took me a while to really digest, the depth of this.
Yep.
But this album, Wings, was really, like a huge turning point, right? Thinking about the release of this album, a turning point, the highest charting album that they'd had at that time. What it revolves around, the Herman Hesse novel,
Mm-hmm.
to the young boy's journey to self-realization. And this was, for a lot of them, their big moment to kind of start to accept themselves, to grow their wings. And I really think that the key point is the dualism, right? The opposite forces, the good
Yep.
and the bad. And this song really is an inner fight, right? Kind of between, himself, what he's going through, the mask that the world sees, what he shows himself, what he shows publicly, privately. It's a really complex song with the lyrics up. If you see some of those lyrics, it's yeah, RM explained, really Jimin, this is also, he took a lot of blame for a lot of things that had happened. He took a lot on himself.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Again,
and to
we
think
know
about,
this from the.
sorry, go ahead. Go
No, I
ahead.
was going to say it because of the burn the stage. I'll go back to that again.
Yeah.
When he was
Yeah.
having that conversation with Namjoon, we only saw so much of that conversation. There are some behind the scenes for Burn the Stage. If you get a chance, obviously try and watch them because there's a little more delving into there. But he was
Right.
talking about wanting to be able to say to people that, and I keep saying Burn the Stage, and I apologize. I mean when they did the Wings review, if you remember, there's a behind the scenes on that one. If you remember the story from the Save Me and from the Save Me webtoon, this was a point at which they, like I said, they all wanted to be able to look at the people that they had been prior to debut, then the persons that they had to become because they had to train, and the persons that they had to become because of debut, and then the persons they had to be post debut, and then find a way to be all of those people. And at the same time, I look, Tata. I know who your inspiration for that was. Yes, Jay. Yes, Jay. Thank you so much. I needed that. And I was just saying because I was telling Agile that I think that sometimes at any given moment that the seven of them are like seven different people because they have so many generations of reiterations of each of themselves as they grow. And I think that that's kind of what like Festa is like. They graduate to become a new person. So in 2016, when they made, this is a massive decision for literally 6 years ago. Think about this.
Right.
The eldest person was a 24-year-old saying, I'm going to talk about Damien, and I'm going to talk about identity crisis, and I'm going to talk about the depths of temptation and what it does internally to our psyche, our id, and our ego. Because that's what the Blood, Sweat, and Tears era was. That's what the Save Me era was. And when lie is about the fact that I have to live in a compartmentalized lie in order to make everyone happy around me. So how much I love this song. So you know how much this song means to me as a mom, but as a fan, as Army. So I'm just gonna get emotional because that lie makes me emotional. So
well, it is, and you can kind of feel his pain in there in the lyrics, and he talks about, find the me that was pure. I can't be free from this lie. Give me back my smile, caught in a lie. Pull me from this hell. So you can tell that, what he expressed to RM, who was, the head writer on it, was he was in pain, and he was going through, he was having going through some really challenging times. I mean, those are pretty intense words. Pull me back from this hell. At a time when, they're starting, a different kind of phase of their career at that time with Wings. So he definitely expressed, what he was feeling emotionally to RM, who then kind of put those into those words, into the lyrics.
Maybe at the same time, I know he has no writing cred on it, but they do actually, for that entire album, they absolutely had, I think, a lot of input in terms of molding what the conversation was,
Definitely.
or what it was that they needed to be able to reveal to us.
Right.
And as we know, Wings Era was a revelation of who they were, and what a phenomenal transition from an expectation of who a K-pop group was supposed to be at the time, to be able to transition to being a genre of their own. No longer sitting right, Jackie, am I right? That's about 2015 to 2016.
Yeah, Wings was actually my first like official comeback with them. And like you said, it was really interesting to see, because like I had never had like an introduction with K-pop before. I discovered RM with his mixtape, and then from there it led me to Run, which led me to Wings eventually when they came back. And I think even more so than them taking on like this is what K-pop is supposed to be, but this is what we're gonna be. I think at that time specifically, they were having conversations with their music that no other artists, K-pop, West, wherever have you, were having. Like, I can't tell you a single artist who had a song anywhere close to what they were doing on Wings, where they talked about these things, where you would have these moments of connection. Because Lie is my favorite song ever in the entire discography, because I connect with it in a different way. Like, from the performance to the lyrics, it was like I am Jimin in that moment.
Yes.
I was
moments in the video. When I was looking back over the video, the symbolism in there, the final picture is him. I think I have it on there with the, kind of the flowers coming on him. It's almost kind of like reaching a bit of peace within himself. The video is the symbolism in it is amazing.
The symbolism in that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, the performance is when he blindfolds himself and it's red and he's going along with everybody else. What he brings to the table with those performances and the way that he's able to portray that exact emotion of Lie. Because like you said, it's them like presenting who they are in their struggles.
In the short films, remember the broken body, the choice of the broken body. Let me just say, if I never heard that song, but saw him perform that, I would have, it would have been just as meaningful, because I would have understood. The crazy thing is, as I saw the short film, the whole entire series, and I watched them regularly without the music, because they're just, it's like reaching inside of me,
and
saying these are parts of you that we are representing on this screen. And it is the heartbreak. Lenny got it completely correct. It's an absolute state of heartbreak that they were willing to just allow us to look into the window of the heartbreak that they were living through. And I mean, you have to think about Jungkook's, Begin, and you have to think about Jin writing his absolutely first song ever with Awake, and literally saying the same thing as Jimin, only it's a little bit in a different way. It's just, anyway, I think we're gonna have to do a Wings and Mott's show. That's it.
That's a whole show. Each one would be a whole show.
I can't even, man. I know we are. That's actually something that we have planned as we move forward. I'm trying to keep up with the conversations through. So these are amazing.
I think Lanny, exactly what she's saying, that song, to me, it's beautiful. And on the same side, it's heartbreaking. Like, it's so beautiful. His performance is beautiful. The visual imagery in the video is beautiful. But at the same time, you understand that he was going through heartbreak. So
as you said, and it's really important to say this, again, I'm going to reiterate, remember that lie is all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then the handshake to filter is all of us.
Mm-hmm.
With serendipity sitting in the middle. And the promise was, I can take you through all of this.
Right.
I understand that we all started at lie. I understood that we all started in a place where we're struggling and we're dealing with a loss of self and a loss of awareness of who I am as a human being, our value, our identity, and our confidence. And then we are moving along to be able to question, what does it take for us to be able to have the stability and the foundation to be able to say, I confidently am aware that I am multiple people.
Right.
And this is what it's doing, and it's making me exist in a state of vibration, which is why in the music video, the most profound thing that they did was to have him have those broken, fractured image moments of the mirror cracked.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many people really were able to hone in on the fact that the cracking of the mirror image for Jimin was in the way that they shot the film. It was much different than Jin looking into the mirror, but his face cracking. Think about that. Okay.
Beautiful.
I don't keep doing this. Sorry, guys.
That's right. No, that song is it's very deep, right? And then so when you're looking through the lyrics and everything, I mean, it connects. And I think, the filter connects to people in some ways, lies connects to people in some ways. I mean, they all have their unique connection with all of us at different points. And I think lie, I connect to that a lot when I'm feeling like criticized or judged or, people looking at me without knowing me fully. I mean, I think probably a lot of us can connect to that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Kind of to piggyback real quick off of what Nisha was saying, and a little different perspective, more adding to the mental health side. I think that it was interesting to see, like looking back on it now, I didn't realize this at the beginning, obviously, but from lie to filter, I think it's interesting that Jimin went from struggling so much to be basically a people pleaser, as we are when we're younger, to being filtered, now being in control of the people pleasing. Like, I will help you when it's okay for me to help you in the different ways that I can. Right. But I'm no longer going to sacrifice my happiness for yours.
My mental health, myself.
I think that's an interesting journey he took us through, again, with having like Promise there as well.
Right.
I think it really showed other people like the journey that is people pleasing, because I was like that around the time that Wings came out, because I was in high school. I was a senior in high school when I heard that. And I was very much a people pleaser, because you want to be liked by people. You want to have friends. You want to be seen as like somebody people can come to. But it's draining to be that person that people come to, and that you have to sacrifice like your own happiness for other people. It's important to take that journey and that step into, okay, I like to help people, but it's no longer going to affect my mental health and my own happiness.
That's an awareness that everyone has to go through at some point in their life, because that's actually the part of the concretization of identity. So the psyche goes through the emotional and the spiritual awareness. Sometimes people can get stuck in those in that spiritual connectivity now, or that emotional connectivity to people. As they develop the psyche, they also develop, who am I going to be to other people? Who am I going to choose to be to other people? And am I going to live in a lie? Am I going to lie to myself? Or who is it that I'm lying to? Because if you look back at the lyrics, you're aware that that's a question he's not just asking of himself. He's asking of everyone around him at the same time. And if you remember in the story, this is a child who'd been traumatized, and who is being imprisoned in a hospital because he could not control the psychogenic seizures that he'd been having in the webtoon. And his family were ashamed of that. His family didn't know how to deal with it. And instead of asking him, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help you understand who you are? What can I do to help you get through this trauma? They couldn't handle it, and they physically put him in a hospital. And when he disappeared, then they couldn't find him. The other six couldn't find him. He was stuck for how long? How long was he stuck in there? What
Mhm.
a concept of being
Mhm.
imprisoned in your own mind and in the own the post state of what that trauma creates for you, or
Right.
who you become post trauma or because of trauma.
Yeah.
So I know that's a heavy statement, but that is
Oh,
physically what they shared with us, what they gave us.
And I
right.
think it's very like fitting for the time that it's set in.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
back then, we didn't have open communication about mental health, and
Right.
like we do now. Now the
Yeah.
discussion is open. If you need help, you find it, and now you can find
Mhm.
people to help you. Back then, if you were showing any signs of trauma or anxiety or
Mhm.
anything, you're
Mhm.
automatically crazy. Boom,
Right.
hospital. Bye. So
Medicine. Yeah.
yes.
I mean, especially as an Asian male. I'm not saying as an Asian female it was any different. It was actually, obviously, I'm an Asian female and a person of color. And for me, mental health, I chose it for a reason. It's very
Mhm.
simple. I chose this
Mhm.
world because it's something I knew and I had lived through in a similar way. So, lie, as you can tell, has connected to everyone here. Um,
Mhm.
and then here, I'm going to actually put it because Tata actually said it perfectly.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yep, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then this one, you're right. This is exactly correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do wings, guys. That's it. Because of this conversation, it's
We
impossible
have
for us
to.
not to do
True.
it. Wings is going
Wayne
to
was
take
the catalyst.
Yeah.
Wings was the catalyst. Wings is a three-part series. It's impossible because we have the entire discography, then we have the
Mhm.
short films, and then we have
Right.
the entire bigger story that wraps around it. I mean, Omela, I mean,
BTS lore. BTS
it's
lore.
yeah, it's deep and dark, and everybody needs to be ready for that conversation. So I think a lot of people who are newer, maybe I
Right.
oftentimes tell them, I don't often, I actually always tell them, hey, if you want to learn about the boys and you want to understand them a lot more, I always recommend go back, as I've said before, go back and listen to Wings, read the
Mhm.
lyrics, and go back and then look at the short films. Don't do it outside of that order. Uh,
Right.
do it this way, and then the short films, and then come and go to Mott's, and then pay attention to Mott's, and then go and read Save Me. And
Mhm.
that will get you ready for the rest of it.
Right.
Yeah. Because I
Whew,
think it's
okay.
very telling to
We do
them.
a whole show on Save Me.
Yeah, we could.
That's what it is. They'll save. Oh, we are going to do a show plus on it. It's impossible to do Wings without doing Save Me. So I think
Right.
what we're going to do is we're going to break it into the discography, like I said,
Yeah.
do
That's
the
great.
webtoon, and then we should do the short films. Even the short
Yeah.
films are going to take us forever because
And
Yeah.
every
not
single
under
one,
an hour is going to be interesting.
those short films are just. I mean, is there, Jackie? Correct me if I'm wrong, and any army who's here, but is there a time that you watch each of those short films and you don't see it completely differently?
No, there's never been a time. Always
Never.
watch it, always something different.
Always, 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 always completely
Mhm.
new. I promise you. The subtle nuances are just incredible.
Right.
Now we're gonna bring into our next. I'm gonna do probably an unboxing so we can lighten it up a
Take
little
a
bit. But I
breather.
have to just say there was no one else who could have done line.
No.
True.
No
No.
one. No one, no one, no one.
Interesting
Agreed.
enough, I don't think he could go back and do lie like he did then now. And that's like a positive thing. That's not like a negative. Like emotionally speaking, I don't
Yeah.
think he could tap into that again.
No.
I'm happy that he's moved on and
That's
happier.
okay that he can't, right? That's
Mhm.
okay.
Right.
And that's the whole point, because I think we had a conversation about how um we have to move, and that's so, as you know from my philosophy, we're not static beings, correct? The
Right.
person I am today is going to be a different person in 2 hours from now,
Mhm.
because I have learned something differently. We would have done this show, we would have listened and read all of these beautiful conversations and chats that we're having, and our perspectives are going to change in those
Yeah.
moments. We're discussing the lyrics, and we learned and we thought about the lyrics completely differently in this moment. Therefore,
Mhm.
our perspective and our awareness of self changes. It's a metamorphosis, and it's a constant. If you've never read Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis, I really
Yep.
recommend it. And I do
Yep.
recommend also going back and reading Demian. and understand how those two things completely have a linear function in understanding the psyche, the id, and the ego,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then being forgiving of your own self as you move through identity and states of identity. So
And I think I was going to ask, do you think that, I mean, RM's influence in um, the novel, because he's such a reader, right? So then connecting the novel, I have read Metamorphosis, but I've not read the other story that connects with Lie. But now I'm kind of very curious to see. Of course, we all probably read Metamorphosis in college or high school, but to me, that was a powerful book, and so I can't imagine that you know, the Herman Hesse novel is not also a very powerful piece at that time for them that influenced the song.
it didn't influence the song, it influenced the entire discography.
True.
It literally is the underpinning for the entire discography, and it is Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the music video. The
Mhm.
entire storyline for each piece, each of those music videos is a
Mm.
different piece of of a perspective from Hess that is physically represented in that music video. Again,
Beautiful.
Jiminshi today. We're gonna do this another day, guys.
We gotta do it. We
Okay,
gotta do it.
why don't you all prepare and try and get a chance to do at least a perusal of Demian, because it's not an easy thing to read.
Yes.
Metamorphosis, as you know, is not an easy thing to read either. And by the way, they have all read Metamorphosis. It's actually
Yeah.
something that's been discussed by them, just like Omelis was discussed, and how Spring Day actually is, as we move along, a next step in that journey of knowing what I'm willing as a human being, which Jimin is representing in Lie.
Right.
And then again in Filter, what am I willing to accept as my reality and the punishment, as it were, that the world could dole out to me versus what I'm willing to accept. It's a huge conversation. Okay, Army, thank you so much for bearing with us, because as you know, we waxed totally prophetic in this conversation, and we knew that was going to happen.
It always happens. It's fine.
It's true. You can go off and then just stay in that direction.
Sarah's
The rabbit
I
tail.
love that comment so much. Oh my
This is
god.
true.
I think
This
that
is
describes our conversations perfectly.
Yep.
Well, we
That's
just,
what
you know,
we need.
talking about now we're going to have a book club.
We're gonna have a book club. Let's
I love
do
to
it.
read. Let's have a book club.
Never
I can
forget,
totally do book club.
never forget that the reader who inspired Namjoon to read was who? So it was Jin. Remember, Jin has been reading for a long time, and Cookie reads quietly and silently.
Mhm.
They all read now. I think if you've noticed, they've all picked up different novels. I think Kozak's reading something different. Yoongi's reading something different too. They're all diving into the books, which is great. Books are
I
great.
love it.
I 100% hope and pray. I really do hope with a lot of my heart that each of them is going to write a book. Whatever their choice is, however they choose it.
Wow.
I could see Jimin journaling an entire book, because it would make sense because of the 13 years of construction and deconstruction and reconstruction of Jimin that we are talking about today. And as we go on to Vibe right now, thank you. As we go on to Bangtan Library. I like the name.
Library.
Let's
The
go.
book
Let's go with it.
Bangtan Library.
Aw. But you have us, Tata. Oh, by the way, Tata, did you get my message that your surprise is coming? Just keep an eye out for it. It's on the way.
That was from the Jin show, right?
Yeah, she from our first show. It is on the way, I promise. I'm so
Tata
sorry.
has been with us from the beginning.
From the beginning. All worthy friends, so it's amazing. Should we jump into Vibe, or should I go ahead and unbox something?
No, let's do unboxing, then we're going to do Vibe. I'm very excited.
God, I have like a million things to do.
Let's
We're going to do
change
the
up the
folio
mood.
when we do the folio. So I'm going to hold on to that for right now. Okay. Like, I have a million Jiminy things yet. But it'll be there soon. I hope it's okay and you enjoy it. Because I got one for me too, just to let you know. Okay, so I know everybody did PGD and we had the graphic design. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing something that unboxed. So this shirt that I'm wearing is part of the BT21 Universe designs. I don't love them all, but I happen to love this one for a lot of reasons. That came out over the summer. I think, over the summer. So while I was in South Korea for my first trip, I went and they had these designs then. There are some of them still available, but very few. But Jiminy is not one that you can get. You can't get Jimmy. See it?
Mhm.
Woo-hoo! So this actually is really rough. If you can find it, try and find it. It's actually a beautiful shirt. So it's
Yeah.
gonna go on today. And then I'm gonna show you my lucky draw from when we did the proof drop. Remember, there were lucky draws. So we went to hide and then we were able to get those. So here's my Jimin. I actually got 2 Jimins.
Cute.
Jimmy. It's a commodity. Believe me, everybody wanted this. But I was like, everybody said I'll trade, and I'm like, even if I have 2, I'm keeping it.
Yeah.
2, he's so pretty. Look how pretty.
Jiminy.
Mhm.
Chimney, our little chimney. And then that was that. And I thought I'd show you that I went and I purposefully went and found almost every single one of the T-Money cards I could possibly find. That was
Mhm.
while I was there because they're pretty hard to get. So I did all my T-Money cards.
Yeah.
So here's our butter. He's so pretty.
That was everybody running around.
He has red hair.
Yeah.
Girl, let me tell you. And then, of course, this is our Mott's.
Mhm.
And then, of course, this
Mhm.
are the oh goodness, what were they called? Not the transparent. It's the the reflective ones. They came out. They
I
were
have
big.
that one of Namjoon in my
These
wallet.
are extremely difficult to find.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I only found 3 of them. And then everybody knows the proof one.
Mhm.
So here are the proofs. Those are my 4. And then, so you guys know these are gone now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, they were
Yes. I
always
wanted those.
How many did you get, Angela? Were you able to get any?
None. I'll
I'm
bring it. I'll
dreaming.
bring next time. I got some. I got one of the recycled, the upcycled things.
Yep, I got one.
You got
I
one?
was able to get 2, but not. You got the redo upcycle. You're so lucky. You got to see that one. So these are gone. I love and I adore them. I was only able to get 5 of the members, 6 of the members. Namjoon was out of all the ones. I know, Sarah, they were all gone. These are actually because I was there in June. That's the only reason I had them. And I went in my first week and I still wasn't able to get Namjoon. That is to tell you, I don't know what they were thinking. But lucky for me, I was able to get Jiminy. I actually haven't opened it yet. It's my first time. So you guys want to see what it looks like?
Yeah.
I haven't opened any of them. I tend to keep everything in their boxes nice and happy. Okay.
I tried to get Namjoons. It was really hard. Like I tried to join Goes and do this, but never could I get Namjoon. I was like,
Well, now you can only maybe find it on eBay, huh?
for like jacked up prices.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
It's so
Really cute.
You know, I thought it had texture, but I just realized that it's actually pretty flat.
Mm.
It's pretty though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it does have texture, but it's at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Jimin.
Really nice.
Here's our baby Jimin. Okay. That was a lot of fun. I just shared my love. All of my fun stuff. I have a lot more, but we can save them as we move along because I certainly want to be able to give you other stuff. I know, Sarah. Ugh. If you could find them, try. Oh, and of course, you guys all got the graffitis, right? You were able to get these?
No, those were gone.
Also, these were PTDLV, and you had to order them, or you had to order them and pick them up at MGM. You only had 2 points at which you were able to get them, and they pretty much disappeared. So really, I happened to be on when they did them, so I was able to order.
Merch for Las Vegas was insane.
It
Crazy.
It was insane.
I was in my pajamas in the heat outside because I was like, no, we're gonna go get merch.
No.
No, I kind of just went. I've learned to just not have the fear of missing out thing. I just kind of do the best I can at what I get, because otherwise I'll be stressed. But I have the pin too, and I love them. I wear them almost every day. I wear my BP21s and I wear my pins. The boys are on me all the time. Yeah, merch was crazy. Anyway, I know we're gonna move on now, but I wanted to tell you. Do you remember this? This is one of my absolute favorite pictures of Jimin, right there. You know what this is, right?
I can't see that far. I have astigmatism.
This is their 2021, right? Isn't it the 2021? I'd have to take it down. I'll take it down and show it to you so you see what it is. But it's the one where he's wearing the kerchief on his head.
It was adorable.
I love it. I love the concept from the choice to wear that, because that was a really revealing moment, I thought. Well, first of all, they're all like this, right? Because they had choices in what they wore for this shoot, and I just like they did for B, so they got the opportunity to kind of represent a generation. And Jimin that was the generation that he was. So they were all doing different generations, if you remember. Well, we can talk about that later too. I think we should probably in the future do something about the PCs and the photo shoots, because they're all absolutely brilliant and they all tell a story about them.
Right.
All right. So I think we went tangential. It's crazy. All right. So let's talk about jump into Vibe real quick.
Yay!
That vibe. Yes.
Do you want to show any of your reels, my love? Or are you going to? Okay, we're going to do this one. Sounds good. I'm reading it too.
Yeah. I think, are we able to pause it as it goes or no?
No. When you press it, it'll stop it. And unfortunately, when you press it, it starts it all over again.
When I was looking up a little bit, to see what Jimin had kind of mentioned about the song, and there's not been much that he said, but Taeyang has said he was interviewed by Spotify just, a day or two before the song was released. And he said really that this song has been kind of in the works for a couple of years now, working on music, after he came back from his military service and things like that. And had kind of met up with Jimin and talked about this and that, and talked about maybe working together. I'm sure Jimin was very excited about that. If you remember the yellow Post-it wall, when they were, that has to be like 2013, 2014, and they were walking in the Post-it wall and pulling the yellow Post-its off and answering the questions. And one of the questions was, who would you most like to work with? And he had, the sideways hat and the big gold chain, Jimin, and he says Taeyang, and you see, Yoongi in the back go, oh yeah, that sounds great. And so I really think that it was, something that was exciting for them to work on. They started shooting, and he felt like Taeyang said, we look like a classic hip hop duo. But he also mentioned, and this is a great quote that he said, was Jimin was harder working on this song and the video than anyone. And he said that he put more effort than anyone into the song, and he was very thankful for having that experience to work with Jimin. So looking for great things so far. It's all over the charts. It's all over, top of the charts. It's amazing. It's amazing. How do you like the lyrics?
I don't think I've moved on to the lyrics. I'm still caught on the music video. Like the way Jimin came in, his vocals.
Yes.
I got so caught up on that every time I listen to it, I'm just sitting there, especially when he gets to the part, like, look at the stars. Like the way his vocal color.
I love that part so much. That is so sweet.
When he mentions, I'm the river. What's that part? That line?
Where you're the something river and I'm the I know.
Namsan Tower.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. It's just so beautiful. Oh my God.
So good. And very true to his brand in the music video. He kept shrugging off the little jacket off his shoulder.
Yes. Oh, he did. He did.
Yeah.
That's
like the first
when is that button gonna pop? Like, oh goodness.
A lot of people were scared because at the beginning of the video, Taeyang was shirtless, and then Jimin pops up, and everybody's like, "Wait, oh no, okay, no, we're safe. We're safe."
Can you imagine?
We wanted to see the moons. We wanted to see the moons down the back.
Yes,
the phases of the moon.
Yeah,
but I think, yeah, I've seen some like kind of videos where people are watching it for the very first time. They love it. They love it when Jimin comes in.
Mm-hmm. So let's I know that this is a moving reel. This is going to be the one and only theme song. You got all of my attention. I thought that was a really interesting way of representing who they are as musicians, and that's how they think in terms of what like a theme song is huge for them. It would be
Right.
huge for me if I look at it. But look at the stars and moon shining so bright all through the night. It's lighting us up, and the way you look at me, it's a vibe. I want to
Mhm.
feel. I want to keep feeling those vibrations. You got to know you got that vibe. I want to say that when I listen to this, I'm okay. So it's a love song,
Right.
but I don't think it's a love song only specifically to a relationship. I believe
Right.
it's clearly a love song to everyone.
Right.
And in
Mhm.
Jimin's part, I always feel like they're singing it to us, to Army,
Mhm.
and it could be to anybody, right?
Mhm.
It's like
Mhm.
you're my moon and you're my stars. I mean, come on, it's this beautiful and oh yes, the red jacket. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's this beautiful like. Anyway, that's how I felt when I read it. I don't know if I can explain it correctly. I just
Yeah.
felt like this is Jimin saying to me as Army that we will always be this.
Mhm.
This is the happiness that he can feel
Mhm.
when we're connected, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I work with it?
And all the analogies. I'm the music, you're my top line. You're the city, I'm the skyline. I'm the movie, you're the highlight.
You want to put it
I
back
mean,
on?
all the
Hey,
analogies.
Tata, thank you so much.
Good luck on your rehearsal. Bye bye.
Oh, let us know how it goes. Do you want to put it back up real quick to that part?
The lyrics.
Yeah, all the analogies. I think it's on the second page.
Yeah, let me go back to that, Yun. I really
That to me is like, I'm the music, you're my top line. I'm the city, you're my skyline. I'm the movie, you're the highlight. To me, it's just like the rhythms of it. The rhythms of it are just amazing. Yeah, and I really feel like Lanny says, you know, his voice has matured a lot. I really think that he's kind of come to, um, you know, kind of a highlight of it, how beautiful his voice is, and just and using it, and you know his whole the dancing, the choreography. They said they used a very young choreographer, an American choreographer.
and it's very
Um,
understated, isn't it?
Yeah.
Extremely understated, and I appreciate it.
mhm.
And we got the challenge, of course, immediately the next day. And it's actually not a hard challenge. It's not
Yeah,
that hard for
yeah.
us to do.
Well,
Um,
Taeyang said he hadn't done choreography like that in a very long time, so it took them a while, you know, of them practicing.
it's
But to
very
sing and
gentle.
dance at the same time, yeah.
It's very gentle. I love
Mhm,
the fluidity of those movements in
mhm,
that music video. Okay,
mhm.
so I was I almost lost what I think I lost what I was going to say for 2 seconds. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No
Um,
worries.
it went right out of my head. Of course,
I
I have too
can
many thoughts.
piggyback while you think. I can
Yeah,
talk while you think.
do it.
Going back to talking about like his voice, I think that he really
Mhm,
grew
That's
to
it.
understand how to properly use his
There you go.
voice and
That's
his
actually
tone.
same
I
compliment.
remember
That's where I was going. You got it.
I
Keep going.
remember there's a clip from one of his V lives where he talks about wanting to have a voice that moves people. And I
yeah,
think he was trying really hard to sing not like himself because he didn't like his vocal tone. I mean, if you look at all of them, they have different vocal tones,
mhm,
but
mhm,
he I think has the most distinctive and different because it's not like, you know, Jungkook has a very like pop based vocal, if you will, kind of
yeah,
like certain sound. So
yeah,
does Tae and so does Jin. But when you listen to Jimin, it's distinctive in a way that I don't think anybody else has the same vocal color that he
right,
does.
right,
I mean, musically, right? So that's what I was actually going to talk about. Melodically, one of the things that I've
Great minds think alike.
always, right, melodically, one of the things that I always would say in the back of my head, I'd be like, Jimin, why are you doing this? The tone that he had from the get go was a beautiful tone. He just
mhm,
was locked into what Hype or what Big Hit at the time was asking him to do with that voice. But then saying, just like Jin did, this is not who I want to be, right? This is not how I want to sing. And you, like you said, they both were on a journey where they wanted to have moving voices. In this song, just like in Filter, if you think about Filter, clearly, what does Jimin choose to do with his voice and his tone and intonation? He actually does crescendo, decrescendo, and he does fortissimos. So he makes use of the crashing or crescendo sounds, and then
mhm,
and the grunt and the grumble. that he actually is one of my absolute favorite things ever in Filter is that, oh yeah, because it's like it grabs you. And so in this song, we're getting those fluid moments between the growl, Jimin growl that we all, I mean, come on, I love the Jimin growl so much. And we got it in Tony Montana, right? That's why that song was so huge. Tony Montana. So I love the confidence behind the movement and fluidity between the growl, the tenor,
Mm-hmm.
the alto, and that is something I wanted to hear for a long time. Like we got it tones of it in Black Swan actually. I listen. So yes, the growls. So
that they've been using his like you said, his vocals grab you, his tone, it grabs you into the music. If you go back to listen to like Answer Love Myself, Jimin is who starts it off, and he does a really good job. His vocals and his tone does a really good job of pulling you in and setting you up for the song. But I think slowly but gradually they came to understand how to use his vocal color and his tone because it's so different, but like in the proper way, instead of being like, don't sound like that, sound like this instead.
Right.
Now more so actually going with what his vocals are, because they can't change. They are what they are.
Yeah.
I don't want Army to think that we are that we're saying that all of them don't have voices that have the ability to move or have beautiful color and tone to them. They all have this just phenomenal ability to be able. And there, I was just listening last night, just sitting and only listening to their harmonies. I was literally fast forwarding to single harmonies in songs just to listen to all 7 of them sit together. Pay attention to their harmonies. You can hear every single voice
because they all have different vocal tones.
That's exactly.
And that's okay. Everybody needs to have their own moment. Like Tay, and I don't like American Hustle Life, but I will talk about American Hustle Life.
Do it.
Because Taeyang has a distinctive voice than anybody else in K-pop too. Nobody has his baritone, soulful voice. So for him to have met somebody in American Hustle Life so young that was like, you have soul. You move soul. Like I loved that moment. She instilled so much confidence in him.
Did she not? I'm telling you, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
They all are great. They just have different vocal tones, and they just need to let the boys use them as they can, because not everybody can sound the same. Not everybody can use the same vocal techniques. It just is what it is.
That's right.
It is what it is. And I think that with hearing Vibe, exactly the thing that hit me and struck me the most, between that and Yet to Come, by the way, and Run BTS, because we got it with there too, is, yes, this is the Jimin that I adore, because I get all of these Jimins.
And in their Japanese music, they did, like with Jin and Jimin, in their Japanese music, they do such a great way of utilizing their tones that I love.
It's another level.
Well, because they have the I won't say this because I could be incorrect. I am certainly not from there. And so I don't want to say they have the best use of it. It's just that I understand them the best. And I feel the movement of their of how they use their melodies and how they change they use ranges absolutely perfectly. And it's I agree with you. And you know how I feel about their Japanese albums. They're my
Stay Gold still gives me chills, and then Crystal Snow.
Crystal Snow is existence is never a day I don't cry to that, especially between Jin and Jimin's conversation with each other in tone and in the movement of the anyway, guys, a whole different conversation. Thank you. Yes, Sarah. We go down the rabbit hole.
There you go.
100%. Oh my god.
Another show on the Japanese albums.
A must, definitely.
I think we need to talk about it, because if you get to the point where you have lights and then you have film out, it is a point at which we're getting a melody point not just a tone, but we're getting the ability for their ranges to harmonize and to what we call, it's an overlap, right? It's when you have layers in singing, and there's a confidence in that I've seen grow so much in this year, over this last year and a half. It's not that they haven't been confident or beautiful or brilliant. Obviously they have been, but what we've gotten in this last year and a half, it's so
musical growth is very interesting if you look at it from like a musical perspective, not just listening to the songs, but if you really think about how much they've grown in both like their technique, their vocal tone, the way they arrange their songs. It's interesting. It's so different. It's amazing.
because they have so much more license to be able to say, this is how I want the song to be arranged. That's a whole different world for a person, for a singer, where you're not completely locked into someone else's vision. When you're singing someone else's vision, of course, hopefully you have the opportunity to be able to put what you want into that song. And that is one of the things that I thank Yoongi and, of course, and Namjoon for, is always going back and saying, what did you need to lend to this song? Because when they had that after 2016 is when they had the ability to do that. So that's why you see the shifts. So I would, obviously Taeyang gave that license to Jimin as well, because we hear it. Otherwise it would have been a whole different song, Okay. Oh, goodness. Rabbit hole again.
The rabbit hole is a great place to be. I like it here.
Our rabbit holes are like the best. I swear. We just go down.
Always.
So, music is, oh my God, me too, Lani. I don't even have words for what Film Out has done for me. Film Out is another conversation. So with Spring Day, you have Jimin being this leading character, the one who's lost, right? And the one who they've lost. But then, because in the representation of the music videos, we open to Jimin in the dance sequencing being the one who's lost in the waves. And then, in the end, Jin has to let him go because he has to have that reconciliation. That's Spring Day. But in the actual films, it's very, very different story, because that's where Omelas comes from. And it's a story about loss that they're talking about again. Film Out is the other end to that story, because it's where they come to the reconciliation and aware that at this point that they can know that the grief process has brought them to some realization where they've found some the ability to cope with the loss, and that's what that is. So Jimin's part in it, if you go back and you listen to Film Out, just listen to his lines. Just listen to his lines, and then go back and listen to his lines in Spring Day, and go ahead and see where those two intersect. Yeah, man, I'm such a nerd. I'm a lyrics nerd from here to tomorrow, guys. You see how my brain thinks. My brain thinks, I think, a lot like Namjoon.
I was just gonna say like Namjoon.
I think so,
because I'm the opposite. I'm like a visuals person, because like I got so stuck on like all the extra visuals that we see from like, we're never gonna move on from You Never Walk Alone, all the extra stuff like that. So like whenever they performed Butter, and they had all the wings, I don't know if y'all noticed, but they had like whenever they did that really cool like jacket, that performance, all the background things were from Wings, were from
that's right.
from the museum, from the music video. That's what they were stealing. A lot of people didn't notice that. That's the first thing I noticed.
The entire background was their history from Wings moving forward. I think a lot of people didn't understand that's what the graffiti was. And that graffiti is the same graffiti that was in the background when Hobie does his music video for Mama, the Japanese version. If you have not seen that, please go and see it, and then understand that you just saw it in Butter's Grammy performance the other day. It's right there. Trust me, they're intricate. They're so
very intricate.
They're just I can just be lost right now. Just think about the blood, sweat, and tears moment when Jimin is standing in that moment, and he has to stand still with the crashing water behind him. But he cannot flinch. Yes, exactly. Exactly that, Lenny. It's what we're talking about. Think about that in that moment, how he has to stand still and not move at all as the threat of drowning is behind him. Tell me, how do you do that? You know, as the threat of drowning in the world that's around you is just surrounding you, how do you stand still to that? And just remember,
have anxiety all the time, every day. I think because I have really bad anxiety, and it does feel like I'm drowning all of the time. But I can't sit here and act like I'm drowning. I have to put on this persona of, okay, let's move on calmly, even though I feel like I'm drowning.
But then we kicked into persona, because persona is movement as we move forward. So now you're going back to lie again, and then now you're going back to filter, because you understand that that's what we just talked about again. So it you know, the forgiveness is that you have to have it for yourself. There's no one else that you need to forgive before yourself. You have to be aware that we are the mistakes, the errors, all of those things are just parts of that journey that we talked about earlier today. And understanding that we can't crucify ourselves or hold ourselves responsible for the multiple people that we are challenged to have to exist as. And they're not always the perfect people. They're not always easy for us, and we're going to struggle and we're going to be in pain. We want to be able to touch the sky, like Jimin says, but exactly, we want to be able to touch the sky. You got it. I love how you and I. But exactly, Eleni, it is extremely difficult to do. And how lucky are we that we have 7 boys who put it all into words and have given it to us for over 7 years of these.
They took you down that journey. You just have to have your moment of, like, your catalyst. It's my new favorite word. You have to have that catalyst, and you can follow that journey with them when you look at it in a deeper perspective. That's what I did.
You have your epiphanies, right? So that's what you have constantly, and you should be having that every day of your life. It should be an epiphany. So the fact that Jimin was able to get to this point, to be able to confidently hold and be so beautiful and vibe, and like give us the message, and we understood clearly that it's a love story to everybody. I thought was pretty awesome. And it's not his song, he's the feature, but at the same time, we clearly understood it. Life mentors, I do. As a matter of fact, there's 7 boys who are half my age, but they have the ability to, that's why we call this the healing messages of Bangtan, because that's actually what this is. That's what this is based on.
That's right.
That's exactly why we created the whole model like we did. Okay, so I think we're ready to move into rap time. We might actually be on time for a change.
Yeah.
So we didn't get a chance. We did the unboxing. We're good there. So let's just you want to post some of the questions real quick? Because we have quite a few people. I had posted them earlier. I'm not sure if we put them on now.
I'll get
and then we were gonna go the 4 core goals for the show and our organization, which we've talked about. As you get that ready, is this to discuss the therapeutic medium and benefits of embracing our favorite fandoms and the healing messages of Bangtan Sonyeon. There you go, perfect timing. To bring awareness and to guide fans towards self-value and self-love through BTS, their music, and their words. To honor the Love Myself campaign goals set in place 5 years ago by BTS, and to do our best to share our mutual love for Bangtan and for ourselves. Those are the 4 core goals of this show and our organization. And I hope that we are doing justice to those goals and that message. So, all right. So when you have a chance, do you have the answers to these?
I do. I also have them committed to memory.
So do we, like, do I know the answers? Do you know the answers, Angela?
The cute habits? Oh, yeah, the answers. We have the answers.
I know. Does anybody have any answers out there?
Oh, you want me to type an answer?
These are all Jimin based, by the way. His is Jimin.
I was going to say falling off chairs. Is that considered a habit?
He does have, because he does it all the time.
He does go on his knees and he laughs a lot. He goes on, falling on chairs.
That poor boy. I think I need to count how many times Jimin has fallen off a chair. I said we should make that one of our questions.
The next question.
Oh, you know this. Running his hands through his hair. That boy and running his hands through his hair. Okay. The tattoos, we know.
Stop making me laugh. I can't see. It's cute. His little eyes turn into like little crescent moons.
Yes.
I
smile.
can't see.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, the next one is up there. What are the tattoos that he has?
Yep.
Yes, so many.
One of them, two of them, whichever ones you know of.
Oh, when he does his eye goes, I swear. And he's poop.
Mm-hmm.
Pa. That's silly.
That clip lives in my head, rent free.
Now lives in my head, rent free, and every other thing free.
I also like to count like his screaming when he gets frustrated as I'm having.
I love
it.
He'll be like, yeah. Oh, my favorite thing is when he's talking and everybody completely talks around him, and he'd be like,
he just sits like
hands on the hips.
Sassiness,
hands on
the hips. Sassiness. I love that sass. It's my fave.
He does have another set of tattoos.
Yep, he has more.
He has technically two more.
Technically.
Technical about it, they are two separate ones.
Well, let's give you a clue on that one. You guys remember his artist made merch and his the hoodie? Something on that hoodie is one of his tattoos.
I'll give y'all another hint. I know they're on the back of his elbows, right here.
Right there. But then also,
yep. He has one here as well.
Yep.
So do we know?
Go look it up.
I'll drop the other question.
We are 5 minutes to go.
Where was he born?
Well, that's easy.
Yeah.
I'll give them some.
Okay, that's easy. Come on. If you do not have that one, I don't know.
It's where all the tasty things are, apparently.
Apparently. The conversation about all of them.
Yes, because what's tasty in Busan?
Busan.
What's tasty in Busan?
I know that question. Okay, next one.
And to answer the tattoo question, it's the 13 on his wrist and Forever Young on the back of his.
Forever Young. Well, separated.
Yeah, that's why.
Separated.
Now, what type of dance style did Jimin learn first? His OG days. His days wearing his little glasses at school.
His little 14-year-old self.
Yeah, there's a great video of him on stage.
Yeah, there is.
Beautiful. That's why I created this little really cute clip. Let me see if I could find it while you're putting everything on.
Technically, no, Lonnie. Technically, no. That's not the answer I'm looking for. Think younger, Jimin. Think back. You're not wrong. He does know contemporary melee, but that's not the answer.
You can tell that. Yeah, you can tell that, definitely.
Yeah, this one.
Oh, I love that performance.
It's very important because think about this style. And look at the strength and the boldness of those movements.
And his isolations.
That's correct.
It's a variation of hip hop in a way, but no.
Oh, I know. It's a rough one. A rough one. While we're doing that. Sorry. It's
Glad he
so
did
beautiful. It's
the
just
answer.
so
It is popping. That is the first thing that he got into whenever he was younger. That was what opened the door. There's some really good performance. Like there's a one
this would
performance.
open the door for him to be able to go to school. So let's just but then the obviously what he was learning was contemporary.
He's very well rounded as a
and
dancer
all the
as well.
styles.
So
So that other form for lie is actually jazz and jazz contemporary.
Mm-hmm.
what
Which he
animal
also-
do we associate with Jiminshi? This one should be easy as well. Think about
Oh
his
yeah, and then
willpower.
why? Okay, so I was playing the for my niece was 4, and I was playing all of their videos. I don't know, and I was like, oh, I put on videos of them all in costumes. You know, whenever they did a muster, and they were always in the costumes. She was watching me watch it, and she was like, "Oh, who is this? What are these? Why are they wearing this?" And she just adored the little chickie. She adored it so much she made me play it 5 times. I was like, "Okay, 4 years old, and army in the making." Simply because they were all those costumes.
The animal costumes,
The animal costume, she loved it.
And you can get those animal costumes on BTS in the island, and and they look so cute running around with their little
dinosaur.
Yes,
I love what he did there.
He's so cute.
I'm waiting for JK's carrot.
He's so cute.
Iconic carrot moment. The iconic carrot.
JK's
heard Jimin audition for Big Hit. That's the next question. This one might not be as easy. I don't think everybody knows this.
So. I know Jimin. Lani's carrying our comments right now. We have other viewers, but you're so on it. Thank you.
He is Army.
You and Sarah just keeping us on point today. Aw, okay. Yes.
Well, yes, but what kind?
Which one? Which one?
Yeah, this is. Yes, there you go. His dance teacher.
She sent in a video and said, "Hey, check out this lovely, amazing person. Perfect for you." So basically, so that was awesome.
What is his zodiac sign? He is that zodiac sign to the T, if you know anything about astrology. And
then the next one is going to be what is his Hogwarts.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I was drinking water.
You got it.
Our Libra King.
Definitely.
And then, as Nisha said, the next question is, what is his Harry Potter house?
Hello.
His Hogwarts house.
His Hogwarts house.
This was such a, surprising.
Yeah.
I am also the same as him, so I was like, I see it. He's a Slytherin.
He's a complete Slytherin. So
if you think back to the Run BTS, the one where they're all in like that little town trying to figure out the imposter among them.
Yeah.
Jimin is a true Slytherin because he manipulates the hell out of everybody.
He did.
The clue said the imposter's wearing a blue shirt. Jimin with a blue shirt. Let's go over here. What's over here? I don't think that has anything to do with this. He is a true Slytherin.
True Slytherin. So good. He's so good at doing it. Oh my god. Yay, we actually finally got to all our questions. That's so exciting. I love it. Because we just don't get a chance to get through it. So, hey guys, just remember we need to stream. Do the best you can.
Vibe. Stream vibe.
Stream it. Don't lose
it. This week we're doing something a little bit new. We're gonna just run through quickly highlights for this week's news for BTS and OT7. And so, do you want to read them off, Angela?
Sure.
And then we're gonna go ahead and close them.
We've got Jin streaming on Spotify. He's the first K soloist to achieve 100 million streams in the shortest time, becoming the first group to surpass 60 million followers on Spotify. We've got Yoongi, Mr. Valentino. He was in Los Angeles, went to the NBA to the Lakers game. Got the GQ collaboration. We've got Cookie. This is huge. One of the 200 best singers of the century. Huge. The Tiny Tan merch release, very cute. And Kim Taeyang named the number one most handsome man in 2023. I'm sure there's other things that have happened within the last few hours that we need to add.
I know, right? We go
always
for 2
something.
hours and it's like boom, drop.
We just raise
Oh,
the surface.
I
We
can
don't
tell
go
you.
deeper.
So Hobie's documentary is in for
Yes.
final rating. So
Right.
as soon as it gets final rating, we actually will be able to get a drop of release date on Disney Plus. That's going to be ridiculous. We all found out officially that the Yet to Come Busan film is actually meant to be in 4XD, and we're all like, what the heck? We're all going to be dizzy.
I don't think we have a 4XD theater here, so
that's going to be interesting.
Well, and it's also doesn't it look like Hobie's going to go to maybe the Louis Vuitton show?
So
maybe
it looks like he got that invite, and then it looks like Tay got his Celine invite.
Yep,
So
and Jimin maybe.
now I need Dior to give Jimin his invite because
I'm like, why does he not have that yet? I was wondering because of some, stuff, but then that they all need to. Let's see what else is going on there. We haven't heard a lot in terms of Cookie, which isn't, I think he is.
Yeah.
He's working
not
on
surprising. He did say he was gonna be very like off the grid this year because he wanted to have a very relaxing time. So
he did.
I hope he's enjoying himself.
Yeah.
With his little Bam and his little dogs and his motorcycle.
And his new motorcycle. Well, and we have no clue if it's a really absolutely final because, we never know anything till the final. But potentially Cookie and Namjoon may go to the Grammys. We don't know yet.
Right.
Just waiting to hear about that.
Jungkook is nominated for an iHeartRadio award.
Yeah.
Yes, they got nominated for
two
or three. Two, three.
He's nominated. I don't know how many, but
so because
it was one the last time I checked. It could be two now. Things change all the time in the Bangtan universe.
Oh, here's a really big one from yesterday, which is extremely important, and I do want to talk about it because we're ready to go now. We're at 6:30, but I'm not sure if all of you follow the brand acknowledgement, the brand reputation.
Oh yeah, you said this.
Messages. Do you guys remember? If you don't do that, try if you can to follow them because it's really, really, really incredible what BTS in general has been achieving. BTS topped the list for the 54th consecutive month with a brand reputation index of 7,925,000 plus for November. High-ranking phrases in the group's keyword analysis include Jin and Hybe and Billboard, while their highest-ranking related terms include advertise, surpass, and record. So their positivity and negativity analysis also revealed a really high score at almost 76%, which is actually phenomenal. So they're also topped the list for the 43rd consecutive month with a brand rep index of over 8 million as well, almost 9 million score, with a 46% rise in their score since November. This is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Who out there is saying that these boys are going anywhere?
Right.
Who out there? It's just not going to happen.
Never be the fall of Bangtan. Bangtan only rises.
And it's going to be a continual rise. So high ranking phrases in BTS's keyword analysis from that one is, who knew this? I mean, come on. Who expected this? Super tuna. So consecutively, our Jin keeps increasing the brand recognition and brand market reputation. Instagram and Army. We made it, guys. Army made it big time. And then the positivity negativity analysis had them at 87.9%.
Wow.
Of positive reactions. So let's just go.
Keep it up.
Yep, that's yeah. So our next show, I believe, Angela, you have the list because you were going to organize it for it, but our next show is going to be talking about the dynamic energy, the connective and collective energy of BTS Army. Our next show is about us and why we as a connective energy are irreplaceable and not reproducible.
The power of Army.
Power of Army is a phenom that as much as people try to yeah, me too. Every day, me having to post all of them to keep them in check every day. But understanding the phenom of Army is something that is just, it's going to go down. I'm sorry. I know it sounds ridiculous to say this to some people, but historically, it has set precedents of untold amounts. And because I am a researcher and specifically this particular focus, I can tell you in my 1.5 years of research who we are and what we've achieved. So stay tuned because we'll be bringing you that. We have our show on Cookie coming up pretty soon. But our next one for Hoba is going to be the 3rd week, I believe, of February. So we have BTS Army, and then we have Hobie, our version of Hobie Palooza, and then we're going to be bringing you the new series. Okay, so the very last thing as we're ready to say goodbye is to show you guys our.
We didn't talk about chaos.
Oh my God, we didn't even do it. How did that happen?
I will just start showing the photos.
Yes, let's at least look at
the photos. Can you imagine we jumped over chaos? That's pretty ridiculous.
I just really
guys.
Well, we would have to do a show on the folios.
We are. I think we should do an entire show on the folios.
Yeah.
Because they're so connected. Once we have all of them, can you imagine where we put all of the pictures together there at the back of the folio?
Yeah.
They're so beautiful. I can't believe we physically spoke about chaos. We actually did. Because we talked about Jimin and his and the identity and understanding the 7 phases of self, which is what I call it. That's not anybody officially doing that at all. That is me saying that that's what I feel like. Chaos was his expression of each of those mannequins being a part of who he is and representing him and him being Jimin being able to unmask those parts of himself. So I don't know. Has everybody had a chance? I can't believe we jumped over Foley. We were so caught up in everything. So here's, you guys see? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I absolutely adore this look. This one. It is. But you know my favorite, and as you know from BTS Wrapped, our BTS Wrapped 2022, you understood that Jimin's folio is absolutely, I hate to say that it's my favorite. It was just one of the most moving moments of 2022 was this folio release because of how much I identified with this. And his and why he named it chaos. The fact is that he was recognizing, that's huge for anyone to be able to say, I recognize that my life has been filled with chaos.
Yeah.
That who I am is can be at some total of the chaos that's been in my life and part of who I am. And I just thought that was a pretty incredible revelation and a decision to give us that part of himself.
Yeah.
But he did it so quietly. But my absolute favorite photo shoot, you all know, is the rainbow photo shoot, as I call it. This one. So you know how much I adore.
I love this shot.
Yeah. It's just life-giving. It is just, it's life. Oh, look at my little Jimin PC. So
I would kill to get the one that is him in the crown. I told myself I'd be an adult and only get one of the folios, and I got June's. But like, I'm a liar. I'm thinking about getting Jimin's because it's.
I have all of them. I this is one of the few things I did allow myself to do because I'm sorry, but how do you not have this? How?
Angel, like an angel.
Because I need to be an adult. I need to be an adult, and I settled for the green giant instead. Y'all can't see it because I don't know why it doesn't let me, but this is Namjoon. There we go. I settled for my green giant
That's
instead.
the one I got too. It's the one I got.
Wow.
I love it. I'm so intrigued by what's coming next with Hoba and oh god, Jimin is. I have no words for like his
Wait
beauty.
till we see Yoongi's folio.
We are
And
also
Yumi's
missing
folio
Yoongi.
is going to be ludicrous, guys. Ludicrous. What
Our Pisces man.
I don't want to expect anything because it's all beauty to me. It's all
Yeah,
just
yeah.
oh, I'm
I think
seeing,
if anybody
I just get lost in this picture. This picture for me is just I don't have words for how much I love it.
It is beautiful.
Ah,
I
sorry, man.
know, I
Now
know, I know.
now you have me. Now you have me.
Happy,
Yes.
happy.
Oh,
Mhm, mhm.
I adore this child so much in every way, shape, or form. I cannot wait to see this Jimin one day on screen.
Yeah.
One day we're going to see this Jimin on screen. So
Wait for his first album. I don't know what we're getting there, but I'm scared.
nobody has any idea. It's going to literally, I don't know if it's going to destroy us or not in a good
Yeah.
way. So I think we actually should go ahead and do the folios together because we
Yeah.
really need to. And then
Yeah.
by the time they're all out, can you imagine
Yeah.
us working on the connectivity of it? That's going to be
Yeah.
awesome. By the way, I'm wearing all my Jiminy earrings today.
The little drops.
Yep, both of them. Both of them are his.
Mhm.
I got his fishtails and I got his this one is from one of the photo shoots. And then I'm wearing the ring and the bracelet because you guys know I went to Seoul and I did the bracelet at Silver Kit. And but I made mine a little bit different. So and then I went back and I made a ring at the same place and my ring says 0 o'clock. So yes, me too, dying. All right. I am so sorry, guys. So I don't want to keep saying that I'm gonna be giving you the whiteboards and then we don't give them to you. So we're going to go ahead and share the first one and it'll go up on our sites pretty soon, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, my New York accent coming out. So take a few minutes and go on one of those three. And this is our first one that we're doing. So actually our first one we filled out for you because I wanted you to be able to see how to do it. So this one is based on it's called Team # I am enough. It's the love myself concept. You are stronger than you seem and stop, start, and continue. So basically it's as you move through these, it's you being able to fill out these answers for yourself. I'm going to stop telling myself things that make me less than. I'm going to start believing in this me. I am worthy. I have value. I am enough. And then continue the thoughts and actions that support my wellness, which are, and I put one here, I'm an amazing baker and dancing to BTS songs are things that make me very happy. How can I love myself when I'm not sure who I am? What fandom inspires me to love myself? So these are questions that we're giving you based on our philosophy. So we're beginning with our philosophy to give you some because you know how Lanny said it was really hard to get to a point where we understood how to juxtapose and reconcile all these parts of ourselves as in the chaos, and that Jimin was able to represent in those images. So doing this gives you an opportunity to be able to create a goal for yourself every day and work through the things you're going to stop doing, start doing, and continue doing that are positive for your wellness. So we're going to be dropping this one pretty soon. This is filled out, as I said, in order to give you an example of how to do it. But then you would go ahead and you fill it out for yourself. If you like the answers that I put in there, then go for it. Follow them. Because, it took a long, I took a long time to be able to consider how I would answer them. And then our next one we're going to give you is your first one that you are self-filling out yourself. So the first one was your trigger, your cues, and teaching you how to do it. The second one, which is officially your first one for the year, is it tells you a little bit about how we are. And each of these are going to be based on lyrics, as we said. So as you could see, this one is based on, hey, smile, dream, shine. So we know this is Microcosmos. And then the quote that inspired it was going to be, you should always smile in life by Jin. And then each of these, when you download it, it's going to ask you how you can smile, dream, and shine in your life. And then write your goals or milestones below, as you could see down here. Ta-da! And then,
Awesome.
sorry?
No, that's awesome. It's great for the reflection, definitely.
So what you'll do is we'll share them as we move forward. If our co-hosts all want to fill them out as they move along in a week, feel free to do that. And then we can always share them as we move along. I kind of revealed to you what mine, one of my own, so you have mine to be able to reflect on as you continue on your journey. As we move forward, we're going to bring you these, maybe not every week, but I'm doing my best to try and bring you one at least twice a month. So this represents the beginning of the end of December and the beginning of January, and you'll get another one by the end of the month. Sounds good? Makes sense?
Perfect.
Yay! So everybody try and fill these out, but no pressure. And if it takes you, if you fill out the same one every week, so be it, because that may be the one that you connect to the most. There's no linearity to it. You don't have to do all of them. You could do all of them. You could do all of them 4 times. Completely up to you. And that that is our gift to you. And I am doing everything I can to give Army the best of me, just like the song says. Aw, you're so welcome. And I'm hoping that all we can do is hope that what we're doing is helping at least one person out there. That makes it all worth it for us. Aw, thank you so much. All right, my loves. You guys want to sign off for me? My dear Minnie, Monty, and Angela. And say goodbye to the peeps.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming back.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
See you next week. Kapabangbo. Night.